Hey, what's up everyone? OpTic Ash is here bringing you another video. Today, we are going to be answering the question that I get asked so often. How do I get better at aiming my gun? Now this is obviously something that a lot of beginners are going to struggle with, but even some people who are a little bit of experience with it might be thrown off, especially because this game has a lot of new sensitivity settings and options and features and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to cover it in this video, and we're also going to cover some tutorials on how to practice your aiming and your movement and kind of combining the two. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to host up a custom game, and you're going to put something along the lines of these settings. Now I am actually going to leave it on team deathmatch, but I'm going to make the respawns 50 because bots like to kill each other and that's fun. Respawn time, we can put it lower because, you know, if you do die, you don't want to be down for a long time. Give yourself 10 seconds. Friendly fire, why not? And then we are going to fill with bots, but leave them on casual for now. Like, we don't want them, you know, having auto aim, hammer burst, all that BS. We want to just practice shooting our gun. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to lock some slots. So I'm going to leave myself 2 teammates, and I'm going to leave all of the other team open. And this way it's kind of like a 3-on-5. My 2 bots will make sure that, you know, I'm not getting flanked and stuff like that, but the other team will still have 5 people for me to kill. Alright, so here we are loading in the game. The first thing we're going to do is mess with the sensitivity settings. So all you need to do this is pick a wall right here. It doesn't matter. It can be any surface, honestly. We could even do something like this barrel right here because it has a little landmark on it. So in fact, that's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with this barrel right here. So go into your options and pick sensitivity settings that you think would work for you. So a good middle ground is 15 since it goes from 0 to 30. So we're going to set on all 15s for right now. And I'm going to leave everything else on default. So we are set on all 15s right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of strafe side to side and try to keep hitting that mark. So if you can kind of keep your bullets within that mark, see, I'm aiming a little bit too fast left and right. So maybe that could be a sign that I need to lower my sensitivity when I'm holding the L trigger. Same for blind fire. Like, see how much you can keep it in that area when you're blind firing the gun. Next thing you're going to do is kind of move around the map and kill some bots a little bit. So you've kind of gotten a feel for the sensitivity. And now move around with your 15 settings and see if you can do whatever moves that you want to do. Can you wall bounce? Can you strafe well? Do you feel like you're in control? Like for me, I feel really sluggish right now moving around the map like this. So I know that I need to increase my sensitivity settings. I'm gonna die. I need to increase my sensitivity settings. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into the options. It doesn't matter if you die, by the way. And I'm going to increase my look sensitivity. So for those of you who don't know, look sensitivity is when you are just walking around like this. This is your look sensitivity. Your next sensitivity setting is your target sensitivity. That's going to be when you're holding the L trigger and aiming. So I like my look sensitivity around 26. Now we saw that I was struggling with that a little bit when I was aiming at a spot on the wall. So we'll just aim for like this little ridge right here. So see how it kind of like moves to the side, pretty like, you know, fast, like rapidly. Like that can be caused of one of 2 things. Either my target sensitivity is off and too high, which I don't believe it is because I know what I'm comfortable at, or I need to adjust some of my dead zones. So I'm going to put this back on 22, and I'm going to put my settings all of what I normally use them. I play on 26, 22, 20. This gives me kind of comfortability when I'm moving around and wall bouncing. I can look around rapidly enough, but still feel like I have control of my gun and my character. And that's what I've found works for me, but this can take some testing to find your right settings. I would suggest starting at that 15 point and then moving either up or down 5 so either going to 10 or to 20, and then from there kind of fine-tuning it until you get to that perfect spot. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the actual aim acceleration in inner dead zones. So I'm going to turn my aim acceleration down to 0. And there is no acceleration when I move it moves at this whatever pace I move my controller at. So when I sit here, I can basically keep the same spot the entire movement, where it kind of stops that whole moving to the side thing that I was having. Now, I think for me personally, that's a little bit too slow. So I'm going to bump that up to maybe about 5 and see how that feels. Your goal is that you should be able to hold steady on a spot while moving, which makes it difficult when you're... So this might be a little bit too sensitive for me, but I'm going to try it with the shotgun for a second and see how that feels. So it feels pretty comfortable. My look sensitivity can probably go up a little bit if I'm going to lower my aim acceleration like this. I'm going to move it up 1 and see how that feels. Now, obviously, you can do all this with bots off, but I like having the opponents around that I can just try to kill randomly. I think that this helps you, like, in more of a real-world setting rather than just shooting your gun at a wall. So your inner dead zone and your outer dead zone are basically how sensitive your control sticks are towards your inputs. So right now, I'm just using the default. What a lot of people will notice that if they set their inner dead zones and outer dead zones to 1 or 0, that their controller will, like, their character will randomly start going like this. And it's because there's a little bit of issue with your joysticks. Maybe your controller is just really used and old, or the sticks just aren't, like, you know, crispy anymore. But usually it just comes from wear and tear. The dead zones are basically there to make sure that your sticks have the right sensitivity for you. So I'm gonna put mine back on what they were, just because I've felt comfortable with how they are, and I don't really see a need to change them. I'm sure I could fine tune them some, but what I have works for me. I know Explosive plays on all 30s, and then he has his dead zone set on 1. But for me personally, this just feels comfortable. So now that you've gotten your settings figured out, what you're going to want to do is just kind of go around and get comfortable with them. So move around the map, find your bots, and kill them. Kill your teammates, kill the bots on the enemy team, just kill everything that's moving. And get yourself comfortable with your settings. Feel free to practice your wall bouncing and throwing in movement like you can see I'm doing right here. When I have the opportunity, I'm not just walking to a location, I'm wall bouncing. I'm not just walking up and point blanking bots, I'm actually trying to wall bounce and move around as I'm shooting at them. So doing this is going to kind of help you incorporate that movement from that other video into your ability to slay and aim. And you'll be able to find, like, the little nuances that might make you miss a shot in game. So say I'm moving around and I'm trying to kill this bot and I notice that I keep aiming too high, then I know that I need to change one of my sensitivities. And that will let you kind of fine tune it here where it doesn't matter, and then be ready for when you're in a competitive match or a ranked match or whatever the case may be. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this quick tip tutorial video on how to adjust your aim and sensitivity to make it comfortable for you and how to get better with your aiming. This is an easy way to fix it. There's no, like, quick solution to getting a better shot or better aim in the game. You really just have to practice. Make a note that your guns will shoot out of the barrel rather than the center of the screen like in Gears of War UE. So keep that in mind and just go into a game and practice against bots. There's no harm in warming up and getting your shot ready before you jump into a ranked match or into a scrimmage or into even a tournament. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a thumbs up if you did. Let me know in the comments down below if you find this video successful and this tutorial successful, and make sure to subscribe to the channel as always, guys. I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next tip video. Go. Woo!